Dezmon here, your startup advisor and partner in entrepreneurship. Today, we're going to talk about how business is just like stocks, credit, and college football. You know, in life, it's inevitable. We are going to be compared to others, to other entities, to other businesses, to other players, to other people. Doesn't matter. We're going to be compared. And many times we do it to ourselves, but more often than not, there is a third party or a third party group that is actually comparing us against others. In college football, you know, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes versus Michigan State, or Stanford University compared to Notre Dame, or it's the Florida Gators compared to the LSU Tigers, for example. These are comparisons that people are making on a weekly basis. You know, with credit, lenders are actually looking at candidates to give loans to, right? And they're scoring them and they're comparing them. We should probably give James Johnson the loan over Jason Dickey, for example, right? We're always being compared, even if it's something that's not coming from us. Look at the stock market. You know, people determine the strength of a stock based on the stock price and if it's going in an upward direction or if it's going in a downward direction, right? That stock really didn't ask to be judged, but just by the nature of it being seen by human beings, it's going to be, and that's how people determine or you know, lack of value, or actually if something does have value, right? So it's the same thing in the business world. When you go ahead and get started initially, it can be really, really overwhelming. But you have to remember, it was overwhelming for everyone. And if you start to compare yourself, it can become more overwhelming because you're going to find that other companies and other businesses have been around longer than you. Now, a couple things you have to keep in mind. Number one, just because they've been around longer than you doesn't mean they're better than you, number one. Number two, you have to understand that you should not compare yourself against them. You should understand what they have, and then you should understand what makes you different, but you should not compare yourself to them. Different circumstances, different things. They may have had an advantage to get started, or they may not have. It doesn't matter. You've got to focus on solving the problem or creating that desire or need that your customer is going to buy, right? But essentially, either your customer is going to judge you or you're going to judge you, and you're going to be compared to, right? So what happens when your customer kind of votes and says, hey, your competitor is better, or competitor C or D or E or F is better than you are? You got to be just like the college football team or the business that's on the stock market, or the consumer that's got maybe not such an attractive credit score. Your score and your ranking does not determine who you are. So don't take it personal. You have to flip it and know that you are a dictator of your destiny and a dictator of the opinions of this third party that's judging you. You dictate that, right? So instead of taking it personal and internalizing it, and if you're ranked 28th in the country or 100th in the country, don't play like you're ranked 100th. Play like you're ranked number one. And if you just keep going in every single day, knocking it out, getting better and better, eventually that score or that marketplace vote that the consumer makes every time they make a purchase in your industry is going to go up. And what you're going to see is you're going to see that that's going to go up because your competitors are not getting as much market share and people are buying more and more from you. But you got to expect that you're going to be the underdog. Underdogs still can play like champions. And then when they get to be like champions, you still play like an underdog. That's how people stay on top, is because you got to keep fighting. You got to keep hustling. If you have a bad credit score, or if you're in sports and you're ranked low, or if you're on the stock market and your stock price took a dip because consumer confidence left because there was a bad press release about your company. Well, if you've got a stable core that can withstand the hurricane, withstand the storm, same way as in your startup business, then if you can do that and you just continue to execute, you will start to dictate whatever score ranking comparison that your marketplace is making against you, and you'll turn it into something that of positive energy and cash flow and money and income and revenue that's directed at you. So just remember, your score does not dictate you. Your activity, your input dictates the output of what the marketplace will give you in terms of a ranking and a score. My name is Dezmon, your startup advisor and your partner in entrepreneurship. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you soon.